have to see who accepts the stream, okay?
Oh, and would you put it on my Facebook page for me, please?
Yes, I can do that.
Thank you, John. I mean,
John, you
Richard.
want me to send you the link?
Sure.
I mean, do you have your phone with you?
Oh, no, I can't do Facebook and all that on my phone.
Okay. So I can send it to you after.
Okay,
that
that'll
is so easy.
That'll be good.
That's so easy when you're
Well,
doing Facebook.
So come up to me after the show and you can tell me how you want me to send it, okay?
Okay, sounds good. This phone is a track phone,
Oh.
and it's just a basic smartphone, and that's it. And most of the time, it's not that smart.
Twitch,
know.
Twitch has accepted the stream. YouTube has accepted the stream. And Facebook has accepted the stream. Are you ready to start the show?
We're ready.
We're
There's a
ready.
timer.
You ready?
I'm ready.
There's a timer in the center of the screen.
Yep.
Oh, and can you put the phone number up?
Yes, let's do that.
202-8430.
Okay, will do. Now I gotta move it. Okay, good. I think everything fits.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good, Richard.
Okay, so look at the timer. When it says on the air, you're on the air, okay?
Okay.
You both are happy with the level of your headphones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Thank you, Richard. Hi, this is Virginia Mcintyre, Illuminating Forward the podcast. Welcome to tonight's show. My guest tonight is John Shred, owner of Sage Center Promotions. And he's a medium and he's a promoter and he has his own center, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes. But I want you to know that I gave you the wrong phone number to call in. Oops, I'm so very sorry. They changed the phone number on me. So call in for a mini reading with medium John Shred at 716-202-8430. Now, first I'd like to tell you a little bit that I can remember about John. John grew up in a home where it was normal to have intuition and to play with spirits and talk with spirits. So he thought that everybody was like that, right?
Correct.
Right. So he gave your first reading at the age of 8, correct?
8 years old.
8 years old, and he did it with a deck of playing cards.
Correct.
Yeah, and he had premonitions, correct?
Yes.
And what you said ended up coming true.
As soon as I did it for my cousin, and what I was doing was mimicking my mom because I've seen her do it with playing cards and using tarot cards. So I just mimicked her, and I told my cousin, this is going to happen, and boom. After I was done, I picked up the cards, and as soon as I was finished, everything happened that I told him.
That is so amazing.
It was amazing to me.
That is so amazing. And, it's really interesting because they say that, with the research, in recent years, Yale and other universities have done research on mediumship and intuition. We have a call. Okay. Okay. Hi, you have reached Illuminating Forward, the podcast. This is Virginia. With whom am I speaking to?
We had a call.
I'm not talking to you.
Click allow to use your microphone here. What does that mean, Richard?
Nothing. You could hear me. You don't have to make any adjustments.
Okay. Oh, that was you?
No. Remember, we did 2 test phone calls for
Yeah.
you to make sure it's working?
Yeah, well, they hung up.
That means the problem was on their end.
Oh, okay. Well, faux pas on their end. Now, back to what I was saying. Now, in recent years, Yale University and other major Ivy League schools have done research on intuition and mediumship and whatever, and mental illness and schizophrenia versus mediumship and whatever.
Right.
Okay, it's the same caller. Let's try it again.
Hit the green button.
Hi, you have reached Illuminating Forward, the podcast. May I help you? You're speaking with Virginia.
They thought they were.
They thought they were. So we're not gonna. I'm not gonna take that phone
I'll
call.
call you to make sure it's working.
Okay. I'm not gonna take a call from that call if our phone's working. Okay, we're sorry, folks. I know you're all dying to know what the research said.
I'm dying to know what the research said.
Hi, you've reached.
Oh, you're hitting the red button, not the green.
Oh, is that what I'm doing?
Yeah, you're hitting the wrong button.
I'm hitting the wrong
Red.
button.
Remember red
Try it
is like
again.
that stoplight?
I thought I hit the green one. Try it again.
Okay.
Try it again. I'm so sorry, folks. It's on the green. It's on the green. Hi, you've reached Illuminating Forward, the podcast.
No, there is a problem.
Yeah, and it's
Okay,
saying
just a little
allow
technical difficulty.
It's saying we're experiencing technical difficulties. It's saying allow mic access. Click allow to use your microphone from here.
Good idea. Let's try it. All right, let's try it again.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I know I don't
No.
hear you through the.
No, you can. I'm sorry. It went to voicemail. All right, let's try it again.
Went to voicemail. Hi, Illuminating Forward, the podcast.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I
Yes.
can hear you.
All right.
Okay, the test has worked.
The test is working. Okay, cool. All right. So whoever that caller was, please call back. We figured out the phone problem. It was probably my friend Nate. So hopefully they'll call back. Call back. The phone number is 716-202-8430. And we're so sorry about the technical difficulty, except we've gotten new equipment here at Think Twice Radio, and sometimes we got to work the kinks out of it
Exactly.
while we're doing it. Yay!
Let's see.
Yay! Hi, you have reached Virginia McIntyre at Illuminating Forward, the podcast. With whom am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Joanne.
Hi, Joanne. Would you like a mini reading with John Shred?
Of course I would.
Okay, well,
Hi,
talk.
Joanne.
Well, talk with John.
Hi, Joanne. Would you like to be reading with John Shred?
Oh, I hear it in hers and mine. How's it going?
You know what? Let me turn my volume up.
Okay, that sounds like an idea.
Okay. Okay, I got you.
And how are you today?
I'm good, John.
I'm glad to hear that. I've got to tell you, all right, so we're going to do the readings now, right? I've got to tell you that coming up in about 2 weeks, there's an appointment that you have to make, and I'm not sure if it's legal or doctor, and I want to tell you that you have not made that appointment yet, and it's coming up, and you need to do it within the next 2 weeks. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
And okay, just to let everyone know, I do know Joanne, so I know some of the things, and I'm kind of selectively letting things through. But I want to say there's something medical that's coming up that you need to change, and there's a prescription and or an added benefit such as over-the-counter medicine or something that's going to be added into your daily regimen, and that's going to help you to feel better. And I feel that you have come into a time period where you're going to start letting things go more, and you're going to start releasing the pain from the body. You're not going to totally get rid of pain, but you're going to start finding it's lessening up because something physically is happening, and physiological you have to change, and I can't see exactly what they're showing me. Of course, I'm not a doctor, so I can't prescribe, and I can't diagnose anything, but they're telling me, the spirit guides are telling me that you need to change something in medicine and diet in order for your body to work properly. There's something not working correctly, if that makes sense. And I know you drink water and all that, but they're telling me something about clearer water, and I don't know what that means. Because you drink bottled water, correct?
Not anymore. And when
Okay.
I do drink water, I usually put something in it. So
Okay. For some reason, I'm being told to tell you to drink at least a cup, 8 ounces or more, of regular water a day. Okay?
okay,
You can put the flavoring in it, but they want you to do the clear water, and maybe that's what they were saying about the clear water, doing one of those at least a day. They're also showing me that there's going to be, you're on a different path than what you were thinking. All right? Your path has you have finally started to come into your own, and they're showing me that you are going to be heading on the path that you were supposed to be on many years ago, and you understand that, I know. All right?
Yes.
So they're going to, the spirit guides are showing me that you're going to be on that path and directing right into it, and things are going to start happening very quickly for you, and you're going to be surprised when you look a year from now and say, oh my goodness, I can't believe I came that far.
All right.
okay.
Any questions?
No, I think part of the medical thing was I got hurt about a week and a half ago
Okay.
from a fall, and I'm just worried about that. It looked like it may have displaced a couple of my inside organs. I've had that before.
It's not, no, you're fine inside.
Okay.
It's all going to, if they are displaced, you're all going to be put back together
Beautiful.
within the next couple weeks, especially by going to
Okay.
that appointment.
Okay, hopefully by August 11th.
Hopefully by August 10th, actually.
Oh, okay, the 10th.
Joanne is one of the people that will be at our Psychic Saturday at the Sage Center at 964 Kenmore Avenue.
Yes,
On
we're going to
August
talk
10th,
about. Yeah,
yes.
we're going to talk about the Sage Center as soon as we're done with Joanne. We're going to talk about the Sage Center.
Any other questions, Joanne?
Nope, I appreciate what you told me.
Okay, keep listening, okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
And you know I love you.
I love you more.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thanks, Joanne, for calling. Let's go
You're
right
welcome.
Let's go right into the Sage Center, and then we'll talk about the research when we're trying to fill in time. I
Okay,
want to get the
that
Sage
makes sense.
Center and tell people about the Sage Center.
When I was in a class, and I'm going back to 2012, I believe it was, I got a vision in the class. We were doing a meditation, and I got this vision to open a center. And the center itself was supposed to have a room for meeting and greeting and classes, and I was also supposed to have offices off of that. That's the vision I got. Well, I ended up opening that center and expanding it a little bit, but I made a deal with the universe, which for anyone listening, if you're talking about manifestation, listen very carefully, because I put a limit on it. I said to the powers that be, and when I say powers that be, I'm talking to the universe and to the spirit guides. I said, look, I will pay for the center out of my own income for 3 years. I says, if it doesn't make a profit by 3 years, I'm closing. It was like 3 years to the day that I opened it. So I ended up closing that physical center in 2017 and just didn't do anything. So COVID hit, and then I was sitting home, and it's like I have to open another center. And I don't know why, okay? So this time when I decided to open this physical center, I said, okay, I'm doing it. I didn't put a time limit on it or anything. I signed a lease and said, you know what, I'm just going with it. The universe is going to provide for me. So I'm manifesting
Wonderful,
that.
wonderful.
And the center itself is located at 964 Kenmore Avenue in Buffalo, New York.
Right down the street from Tim Hortons.
Exactly, very much so.
The new Tim Hortons, yes.
Yes, and it's a nice center. We have a gift shop in the front, which has some metaphysical items. We have a big room in the back, which we hold healing classes, learning to breathe classes, meditation classes. I'm doing a Know Your Stones class.
Oh, yeah, crystal class.
That's coming up. And
Psychic fair.
Psychic fair,
Which I participated
Yes,
in. It was wonderful.
Yes,
It was wonderful.
and we're now on Meetup.com, so we're getting more people in through there.
You know
you
what
know.
I like the best about when you walk into your center, and other people commented on this as well too, the people that I read for, you could smell the freshness in the air.
Yes.
It's like you walk in and it's like it's got like its own aroma. It's
Very
like
much so.
the Sage Center has its own aroma. It's like it's really interesting. It's really nice.
It was amazing because I was there today setting it up because tonight they're having a healing class there. And obviously I'm here. Can't be in two places yet.
Right, because
And
of 4th of July.
so I set up everything, and I smelled it for the first time. Because I didn't smell it before when other people, I say, oh, that's nice, you know,
Yeah,
and
right,
just
right, yeah.
accept it. And,
Yeah.
and here I'm like, oh, wow, I do smell that.
It's got its own distinct aroma,
Yeah.
and it's the only way that I can describe it is fresh,
Yes.
which is like really really nice. It's
Very, very nice.
It's what I also liked about the psychic fair is that you're cozy, like so you have an intimate setting, but you're not overcrowded. Because sometimes when you have like a psychic fair, whatever, the promoters put you like right next to each other,
yes.
and you're like crowded like sardines or whatever. There's really no room for confidentiality, whatever. It's a really
Right.
nice setup, and you have working bathrooms, and it's just
Two.
like it's just like really nice considering what we were talking about
Yes.
before we got on the air
Yeah.
today. So yeah, so it's like really really nice,
And-
really nice, and for people that are aware of Kenmore Avenue near Colvin, it's where the Tai Chi place used to be.
Right.
And you're right next to the Green Giant.
Cricket.
The Cricket phone, and Dr. Bob, right?
Dr. Bob's right over there, too.
Right.
Across from where Vizzy's used to be.
Fizzy's is no longer there?
No, they closed like 2 years ago.
Really?
Yep, and they
I'm
were
s-
trying to sell it, and I don't know if they've ever sold the building or not. We're down the street from St. Joe's High
Collegiate.
School, Collegiate High School.
Sinatra's restaurant.
Sinatra's
you're right
restaurant,
down the street
mhm.
from there, but you're only like a block and a half from Colvin
Right,
and Kenmore Avenue.
yeah, and very on a bus line,
Yeah,
so it's very
yeah.
accessible.
It's really accessible. Yeah. So and so you're also thinking about doing a psychic fair out in the community, correct?
Yes,
You're
I
thinking about
did-
that in the future.
Yes.
You don't have to talk about the details about that if you don't
Well,
want to.
no,
but
that's fine with me. In the
Okay.
past, I did promote some psychic fairs, and it ended up in the Western New York area that psychic fairs at that time were a dime a dozen. And there were so many of them, and it's like, you know what, I
Can
can't
we
do
talk
that.
about that?
Yeah, and Sage Center Promotions was started after the physical center closed in 2017, and I decided to do craft and vendor shows to promote them. Well, then they were with basket raffles, and they're a dime a dozen. It's like I don't want to offer people the same old, same old. I want to be able to give them something that they need so they can continue their spiritual path.
Well, my inaugural show had medium Colleen Irwin on from Rochester, New York. That's where she is now, and
Okay.
she brought up psychic fairs, and she talked about how she doesn't do them anymore
Right.
because there were so many of them, and there was just like a wipeout that you would spend all this money for rent for your table. but you were losing money because everybody was fighting over like how many five psychic fairs in one day to go to, you know.
I know.
And they were charging admission to go to the psychic fair, so people were only going to one. And so, you know, what's also nice about your psychic fair is that there is no admission fee.
Not at all.
There is no admission fee. You just come in, and you don't have to make an appointment, though I'll be reading, and it would be nice if you made an appointment with me. I'm just going to be upfront about it. I'm just going to be upfront about it. But I'll take walk-ins. I'll be there on the 10th, and I was there last month, and it was really lovely. It was
From
really
10 to 3.
Yeah, it was from
And
10 to 3.
I'm trying to have about 5 readers. You know, we've been averaging 4, but I want to have 5. And I want to have both male and female because I want the energy from both sides.
Good point.
You know,
Good point.
And I know there's a lot of people who want the readings from a male and for female, you know.
Okay, we have a caller.
All right.
Hi, you have reached Illuminating Forward, the podcast, and you're speaking with Virginia. With whom am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Nathan Ulrich.
Nate, how are you? I was talking about you tonight. Were your ears ringing?
Yes, I heard something. Yes.
Yes, I was saying that you're going to call in. Well, we have John Shred here, and he's doing mini readings. Would you like a reading?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, talk with John, Nate.
Okay. Hi, Nate. How are you?
Good. I'm just making some dinner.
Oh, boy. You can bring it over. That's okay. I'm always willing to eat. I want to tell you that you have something coming up. Let's see. I want to say September or October. I'm not sure what it is. Do you have a celebration coming up? I'm sorry?
Can I make a mention?
Sure.
So I talked to Zoltar at the Hamburg Fair last year about this.
You talked to who?
And Zoltar, he plays the character from Big, the movie.
Okay.
At the Hamburg Fair, he has his own little stand. You ever see that movie where he plays the...
Oh, yes. I know who
We
you're
have to
talking
have-
about.
We have a guy in our community. Yeah, he goes to Hamburg Fair, and his stand is mobile. So once he does the readings and stuff, he disappears, just like in the movie.
Okay.
So I talked to the guy who played Zoltar about the art show in August last year at the Hamburg Fair, and I asked him. I said, I want my artwork to make me famous. And he said, well, it's better to be famous than infamous. And he told me, I see good fortune for you in the future regarding the art show at the Buffalo VA. And wouldn't you know it, I won the Bill Emerson Award, and I got a $250 certificate for art supplies. I
Okay,
have 3 entries.
beautiful. So now, so now let John give you his reading.
Okay.
Make sure that the connection's still there. Okay, so this coming September, October, there's going to be a celebration, and I don't know if it's an anniversary or a birthday, a special one that's coming up, but I'm being told to tell you. I'm seeing a male in spirit. Is your dad passed?
No, most of my family is alive and well, my immediate family.
Okay.
My grandparents are passed. I'm 43.
Okay, what is your father, was his father has passed, right?
Yeah, his father's
Okay,
passed, yeah.
did they look similar? Can you see the resemblance? With
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because this guy is looking, and he's being presented to me as a father figure. So I don't know if you were really close to your grandfather or not, but he's telling me that there is a celebration coming up in between September, October, the end of October, and he's going to be there along with the family celebrating. Also, I want to tell you that there is somebody in your family, hold on a second, somebody is going to have a baby, all right? I don't think they've announced it yet, but the individual, I think they just found out that they're pregnant. All right. I don't believe this couple is married. I'm not sure. And I do think that maybe around that time they will be letting the family know that they're having a baby. So it's all interconnected at the time between September and the end of October, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That actually, I will pay attention to that. I will look forward to that.
Yeah, and the baby that's going to be born, obviously, 9 months from now is July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, about April, it's going to have no complications, but the birth is going to be delayed. So the girl that's having it, obviously the due date will be X, and it will be like 4 or 5 days after the due date. It won't be early.
Interesting.
Sounds great. That's a wonderful reading. I like that.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, Nate. All right. Do you have a question for John?
Yes, I have a question. I'm an artist, and I live through art, and I like to help people when I can. But art is my world. And what kind of picture do you see for me as an artist? Do you think I can grow and become more successful in my art?
I think it's going to take a lot of perseverance on your part. I do believe that I can see you. I'm envisioning you right now drawing, and I don't know. I don't know that much about art, but do you draw it first on the canvas and then paint it? Is that how you operate?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, because I see a rather large canvas, and it's not an 8 by 10. I don't know if it's a 12 by 20 or whatever. It's quite bigger, and you're doing I think you are channeling a portrait of somebody, but not a sitting portrait like I'm sitting right now. It's somebody who's standing and their hand is extended, and I believe it's a female. And I see that is something that you are going to be offering for sale, and it's going to be very lucrative.
Wonderful.
Well, let me tell you, the world is my canvas as well, and I like to paint a big picture of the world.
Right,
and
I can see that.
My art reflects in my life, and I think that Virginia would agree that art is important to our spiritualism.
I agree.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Uh,
All right. Well,
so
thank you.
thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you, Nate. And we'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
One of the things for people who maybe are tuning in and not understanding what mediumship is, just to let them know that psychics are one thing, mediums are a different.
Absolutely. And not
Every medium is a psychic, but not every psychic is a medium. And like you said earlier, I never knew the difference that I was talking to the spirit world. I don't see them like I did when I was a kid anymore, where I physically, like I'm looking at you. But I always talked to people that weren't there and never even realized they weren't.
Well, my deceased friend and mentor, John White, my mother said that when I was little, I would entertain myself. And John White, without knowing that my mother said that I was playing with spirits as a child. So,
Right.
yeah, and I was singing and dancing and carrying on. And, and the children that have imaginary friends are really dealing with
Thank you.
spirits because the research now we're going to go right into the research.
Perfect.
The research has shown that that all children are born with this gift. We are
Yes.
all born with this gift. And what happens is it's the same as with creativity. Once you get into the educational system,
Yes.
because our educational system is based on Socrates and the Industrial Revolution, and so we are teaching people to operate in factories, not to be creative thinkers, even though we need creative thinkers. So
Yes.
it kills creativity and it kills the ability to imagine and to deal with spirits.
I totally agree.
Before the age of 6. So we are killing this gift in our own children. And it's not just in the United States, even though in the United States it's a little bit harsher than it is in other
Yes.
countries. But it's around the world that we're actually, just killing this gift in people. But the research shows that children have this ability before the age of 6.
Also, have you seen, I forget what network it was on, but it was Ghosts Within My Child?
No, I've never seen that.
Oh, it's about these children who are very young, and they tell their parents, "Mommy, you weren't my first mommy. My other mommy, blah, 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 blah." Or,
Wow.
I know, it was amazing. And there was this one child who told his mother that he was killed in a fire, that he was in the desert, and what she pieced together was that his previous lifetime was at Desert Storm. And the kid had his name. He was in the Marines, I believe. The kid didn't know the service branch, but he knew he was in the service. And the mother actually did the research and found out that he was 100% correct. And
Really?
it's a wonderful program to watch. I mean,
Really?
it's spine chilling, you know.
Wow. Wow. And they are the science that we know is only 300 years old, as science as we know it. And but science has shown that what we do, John, is real.
Oh, yeah.
So all this stuff about it being hokey pokey and all this other stuff is not true, because we have the science to back us up now.
Very
that
much so.
that we are just not, just blowing smoke out of our little straws or whatever. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now you're planning a psychic fair, as you would say,
Yes.
maybe sometime in the fall, correct?
I'm hoping to do it in November. I have not found the correct venue yet, and as we were discussing how much psychic fairs are and having so many readers and the such, I don't like having more than 10 readers, because I want everybody to make money. My thing is not to become a millionaire, but I want to help people on their spiritual path, whatever that path is. Mine is different than yours, which is different than so-and-so's, and we need to give this information to the general public. And that's why I probably will charge an admission fee at the outside psychic fair, only because I don't want to charge the readers an arm and a leg to rent a booth.
Right.
Or the vendors. And I'll have vendors there too as well.
Because what happens with the readers, because of the weather or whatever, they are taking a gamble. They are taking a risk that they're going to lose money, and that's something that the average person that's like coming to the fair doesn't realize. Because they say, "Oh, the readers are so expensive," whatever.
Yes.
Well, we live in a capitalistic society. Everything costs money, and the venue has to pay for electricity. They have to pay for insurance. They have to pay for
Right.
all these things. So that's why things, cost money. But we have Mick here saying hello. I wonder if he's still there. And we have Candace.
Aiello.
Do you know her?
Yes.
Okay, she's saying something about
That's
Joanne.
awesome, Joanne. Yes.
And then we have Jenny De Jesus. Oh yes, you know Jenny, John.
I know Jenny. Jenny was at the last psychic fair that we had at the center.
Yeah, she was a reader. She says my child has talked a little about the past life. Very interesting. Interesting that Jenny's got a child that's talking about her past lives. Isn't that something? Now, have you ever done past life regression?
Yes.
Now,
Are you saying participated or
But let's
conducted?
talk about participating. Have you ever participated?
Yes. I'll tell you. My mother, who has since passed, she was a very great intuitive, very good, and very strong mind. Her and I one day were at our house when I was younger, and I had my whole past life laid out right before me. Her and I don't know how we got onto it, and just for anyone listening, there were no drugs or anything involved.
Right.
But all of a sudden I had, and neither of us wrote any of it down, but I had the name, I had how I was killed, what I did for a living, and I have this fear of having my back to the door. And in my past life, one of my past lives, I was shot in the back.
Really?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well, they say that's how these things got played out in our
Right.
current life.
Because what happened was I was an accountant, and you know the tables that you see in Ebenezer Scrooge, the night Christmas Carol.
Yes.
Those tables, I was working at that, and at that time I was running around with a married woman, I guess, in my past life.
Tis, John.
I know, isn't it awful? And it did it this life too, so it doesn't matter. And I guess I didn't learn. And so I guess the husband found out and killed me. And it was somewhere in
Wow.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and I actually, like I said, I had all the information, and unfortunately, when we came out of, I'm going to call it a meditation, neither one of us wrote it down. And I wish I would have, because it cleared up a lot for me. But I've also participated in a past life regression workshop, and I conduct them now. And what I do is we do a meditation, and I have the
Wonderful.
people go back.
So this is something you offer.
Yes,
As-
I offer almost anything and everything.
Beautiful,
You know,
beautiful.
I am open. I put on Facebook all the time. You know, if anybody wants any certain classes, let me know. I will gladly put it in. I have no problem offering things. I've had so many different things at the old center and so many different things coming at the new center. It's amazing.
Now, if someone wanted to contact you personally, do you have a
Yes.
phone number that they can
I
call
do.
you at?
They
What is that?
If they want to contact me personally, it's 716-572-4989.
572-4989.
Right. And they can also go to www.rev, because I am an ordained minister.
Yes, you are.
JohnShred.com. And that way, that's my personal website. I also have www.sagecenterpromotions with an S.com.
Now, do you have regular office hours at the Sage Center?
It's by appointment right now.
It's by appointment. Well,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Because we haven't gotten over COVID yet. Even though people
Right.
want to think that we have, we really haven't. People are still very cautious about going shopping. I saw someone today at the VA with the shield on.
Okay.
With the shield, and he was
Yeah.
talking to people, and nobody knew what he was saying.
Oh,
Well, because he
That-
had this shield on like he was an astronaut. It wasn't just like, where there
Oh,
was
it wasn't
a space.
just the film.
No,
Okay.
it was closed in, and I wanted to tap on it going, what, really? Really? Why don't you do sign language or something? So you offer where you'll put people through a past life regression?
yes. I'm
Now,
going to
how long
probably
does it
next-
usually take? Let's educate people to this.
It depends on how deep and how well they go into meditation, because they're actually going through everything. I'm
Right.
not doing anything but just leading them on the path.
That's the same way that
Right.
John White did it.
Yes, and everything is individual based. So I would start out with a nice meditation, have maybe music, maybe not. It depends on the group. And each person will go on their own and figure out. And I did one a few years ago at a different place in Kenmore, and the people, they really liked it. And you don't know where you're going to end up. It's
Right.
mine that I was telling you about with my mom just happened to be very specific. Some people, they don't. They go back and see themselves in Egyptian time, before the pyramids, and some are in the Midwest, so it all depends on the individual and what their spirit guides are showing them. And you can find out a lot. Now, that's in a group. I have not done them one-on-one.
Oh, you haven't?
I have not done one-on-one yet.
Interesting,
Mine is always, it's a group meditation, and
Interesting.
I was doing some online courses with some people, and I did one there, and the one lady just couldn't connect. She couldn't let herself go enough during the meditation.
Some people, it's
Right.
like that. If you have unresolved trauma, you can flip out when you go into meditation.
Yes.
But if you get past that initial flipping out, you can do meditation. But a lot of people can't get past that.
A lot of
they're
people
just
don't know
not
how.
ready. Right? They don't know how. They're just not ready. It's not the time. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to say that Sue Lewis is watching now. Sue Lewis, why don't you call in for a reading? She said, what is she saying, Anna?
Aries babies rock.
Aries baby, yes. I'm an Aries baby, so is she. Yeah, okay. Past life memories are fairly common to very young children.
Yes.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Sue's the mother of 4 people, so yeah. So you do so you do past lives in
A group meditation, right.
Well, that's really, and then they would have like a journal or something to write it down. So
If they choose. Some the classes that I've done, some people don't want to write it down. They just want the memory of knowing what happened. And they're like, oh, that's why I like this time period, or that's why I like that type of decor.
oh, because it explains it.
Right.
It explains it, and it also not only your phobias but your likes and your interests.
Right.
Oh. Hi, you have reached Illuminating Forward, the podcast. This is Virginia McIntyre. With whom am I speaking with?
The green button.
No, I did hit the green button. I don't know what's going on. This is definitely on their end because all the things have lit up. I don't know what's going on, caller. I'm going to disconnect.
I can hear. It's okay,
There it
Ginger. I
is.
can hear you.
We can hear you now.
Oh, there she is. Okay, Sue. We almost lost you. How are you, Sue? How are you tonight?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. How are you?
We're doing good. I'm so glad you called in. Would you like John to give you a reading?
I would love that. Thank you.
Oh,
right,
good.
how
I'm
are
so
you?
glad you took my invitation. Thank you.
I did.
Thanks. It's wonderful. Okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
Sue, as I'm coming into your energy, I want to tell you that you've had some physical, I don't want to say disabilities because it's not disabilities. Have you had some abnormal things happening lately physically?
Yes,
Primarily
absolutely.
with breathing of some kind, because I'm going in
Yep.
into the chest area, and I
Yep.
don't feel it's the heart. All right, I know that and I don't. You don't suffer from acid reflux, do you?
I do.
Okay, are you having problems with GERD and it causing problems with the breathing? Because I'm getting the pain, and it doesn't feel like it's what is that stuff? It doesn't feel like it's
Yeah. No, I have GERD symptoms. Yes, I do.
okay.
Yes.
It's not the burning, all right, but it's just I can feel that bubbling up, and I can feel it coming up the esophagus, all right?
Yep.
And
Exactly right.
You don't relax much, do you?
No.
Okay, because I feel very agitated. Okay, most of the
Oh.
time, and I don't mean agitated like you're mad at someone. I mean just I can't. Sometimes when spirit's telling me I can't get the correct words, and other times they won't let me say the words. But I don't want to say hyper, but that uneasy feeling, if that makes sense to you. All right, I'm trying
It
to
does.
get. I'm
It
trying,
absolutely does.
Good.
Yep.
All right. What I'm being told to tell you is, do you drink any type of tea? Do you drink tea? Do you
No.
like tea?
I drink coffee.
So do I. I love coffee, and I'm being told to try some non-caffeinated teas, chamomile and that.
Okay.
I believe me, I'm not telling you to replace your coffee because I love my coffee. But they're telling me to do that, and there's a wonderful tea from Bigelow, I believe it is, that has stomach reducer to reduce the acid and stuff and calm the stomach down. And
Okay.
I think that would help you a lot. Also, they're telling me to tell you to do some holistic vitamins, not vitamins. That's what came out, but that's what I'm leaving. And there's certain holistic things that you could be taking and doing, like smelling citrus and using oils and the such. And they're telling me that there's some other ways to incorporate into your body something to help you relax more, if that makes sense, and not feel so on edge. And again, I don't mean on edge as angry. I just mean on edge like, ooh, there it is, and that that electricity that you feel at times.
Yes.
And they're telling me that. They're also showing me a lady in spirit. I'm trying to see. I cannot tell if she's your mother or your grandmother, okay? But she's the one that did the baking. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that would be my mother. Mhm.
Okay. And mom's in spirit?
She is.
Okay. She's telling me that I had to differentiate between the grandmother and mother because she's telling me that her mother cooked, but she baked. And
Yes.
she wants me to let you know that she comes to you a lot. I don't know if you're aware of that, but she comes to you a lot, and she says to let you know you're up very early in the morning, aren't you?
Frequently, yeah.
Okay, and are you at that time? Is the rest of the people in the house quiet, and you're by yourself?
Yeah, everything's, yeah,
Okay.
I wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning.
And do you stay up then, or?
No, not usually.
Okay. Well, she's telling me early in the morning she comes to you. I don't know if
Oh,
she's
that's
waking you
sweet.
up or not. All right. But if you wake up and you're feeling a wisp on your head, you can see me like this. All right.
Yeah.
That's her, and she's just giving you some love
Oh.
and letting you know she's there. And she's telling me that you have 2 children?
I have 4.
4. Okay. And they're not twins, right?
No.
All right. Who's the 2? Are they from 2 separate fathers?
I also have a goddaughter and a stepdaughter. So there's 2 that I did not give birth to.
Then that's what she must be saying, because and they're younger, right? They're
Not anymore.
Well, no, but I mean they're the younger of the group.
Yes, exactly
Okay,
right.
because she's telling me that she's calling them the babies. They need some special
Okay.
attention. I don't know if you know it or not.
Oh,
and-
I have 2 grandsons.
Okay, are they tiny, like under 10?
No, they're both teenagers, but they're the youngest in the group.
Okay, because she's telling me they need some special attention. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
And
they're both on the spectrum. Right.
Okay, all right. So you understand everything there. And she's telling
Yeah.
me to tell you, you know what? Just accept what happens, and life is what it is. You can't make it something it's not.
There you go.
Oh,
I love that for her. I love that for
That
her.
is
Good.
the yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
She says you're
Wow,
trying too
is
hard.
that- Yeah, that's spot on.
Okay.
Trying
good.
too hard. Absolutely, John.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Do you have any questions for me?
Ask her if there's anything that I can do to make peace with the youngest daughter that I gave birth to.
Sorry to say it this way, but other than slapping her across the face, no. Sorry.
That sounds right. Yep.
Okay. But she's saying, no, you have to let her come to it herself. Okay?
Okay.
Just keep
Okay.
sending her white light and love, and eventually she will get it. And she's not very old, right? And by not very old,
No.
okay, good. Because once she starts maturing more,
Uh-huh.
she's going to realize all the stuff that goes along with it.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. You have a great night.
Thank you, Sue.
Thanks. Thank you, Ginger. Bye-bye.
Thank you for calling in.
Of course. Thank you for inviting me.
That was
Bye-bye.
wonderful. That was wonderful information for her. That was beautiful.
Good.
That was beautiful. And you were spot on. Spot on.
You know, I had one of the greatest compliments that I've ever had was someone who became a friend of mine. I was at a church service, and this is years ago, and I was giving messages. He came up to me and he says, I have to tell you something. You are the only person I know that is a clear channel. He says, you do not put your ego in it at all. And I tell people, it comes in here and out here. I try to get out of the way.
Yeah.
So if I'm reading for you, I'm going to just say whatever they're telling me.
Yeah.
You know, and there's been very few times when spirit world is, I'm hearing one thing and I go to say it and they won't let me. You know, and it's like, no, I've got to say it. And then I'll have to say to whoever I'm reading, look, they won't let me say it, but this is what I heard.
Right.
I let it out.
Right. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You might not remember this, but you told me the story that I think that it was a fascinating story. You told me this fascinating story that when you used to look out your window and your mother
Yes.
would observe you. Could you tell our listeners about that?
Yes.
Because that was fascinating.
To this day, it just amazes me. I lived in South Buffalo, and for anyone that knows South Buffalo, the houses are driveway apart. You know, there's no grass in between or anything. And I had the middle bedroom. So I was probably somewhere between 4 and 7, if not younger. And I had the middle bedroom, and every night I would sit in front of the window obviously not in the wintertime, but in the summertime. And I would talk to a farmer and his ox. And in my mind, I've tried to think, okay, you must have read somewhere that there was a farmer, but I have no idea. But I never saw the house next door. I saw farmland. And I would sit there and I would talk to this man. If he walked in today, I wouldn't know who he was, all right? And obviously he was in spirit back then. And my mom, being the intuitive that she was, would just stand in the doorway and listen, obviously just to my half, and she knew I was okay. But I could not go to sleep unless I spoke to him. And so it must have been my spirit guide.
Yeah, your spirit guide or comfort to you,
right.
comforting to you.
And I have no idea how it started, and I have no idea how it ended.
And you had to talk to him so you could go to sleep.
Yes.
So you could end your day.
Yeah.
He was a comfort to you. Your farmer was a comfort to you.
He offered me a lot of information. Obviously, as an adult now, in my 60s, I don't remember what it was, but in my soul, I know what it was.
Right, exactly. In your
Yeah.
soul, you know what it was, really. And your mother was a good mother. She observed.
Oh,
she
it
made
was
sure.
wonderful.
She made sure you were okay and whatever. And it wasn't something in your imagination. It was something that was really real.
Oh, yeah,
It was
it
something very real.
Another thing, I told my sister a few years ago, I says, it's terrible being a medium. She goes, why? I said, do you know what it's like walking down the street talking to someone who's not there? And I know, isn't it? You think you're nuts. And she says, John, you've done that your whole life. I go, what are you talking about? And she says, you used to sit in your bedroom and play with people that were never there.
That's
I go,
what I did.
right. And you know exactly
I used
what
to
I'm
sing
talking
and
about.
dance, play
Right.
games, right? Right.
And you don't think of those things happening, but when you realize, what are you going to do?
All right. We got another caller. Okay, this is the last call we're going to take. Hi, you've reached Illuminating Forward, Virginia McIntyre. With whom am I speaking to?
Candace Ayala.
Hi, Candace. How
Hi.
are you? Would you like a reading, a little mini reading from John?
Oh, I'd love that. Thank you.
Well, I think we have enough time.
Yeah, there's enough time.
Okay, sure. Go
Candy,
ahead, John.
how are you? I haven't heard from you in a while.
Yeah, I've been hibernating.
Yeah, and it's time to, and you know exactly who's telling you. Peter's telling you, get off your rear end and out. Okay?
It's fun. Yeah, no, it's funny. I don't dream much, John, but last week, all of a sudden I woke up and your name came to my head.
Oh, wow, good. Well, he's putting it
I know.
there. Peter is her husband who passed away.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, all right.
And you have hibernated too long by yourself. You need to start getting back out and meet people. And I'm not telling you for relationship-wise. I'm just telling you to get to that human contact again. And you need to start venturing out and experiencing a lot of things, which you are going to do. And I want to tell you that coming in December, I don't remember your birthday. Is it December?
September.
September. What's in December? Besides Christmas, obviously. Is there a major
not really.
event coming up? Because there's something that you're going to need in December that you're going to do. Okay? And it's a big thing for you. It's not a big thing for me. It's a big thing for you.
Travel?
I can't tell you. They won't tell me. Also, do you have a money market account or something coming due? Certificate that you have to change? Because they're showing me.
I finally got it done. It took me 8 months.
Okay,
John.
yeah, because they're showing me money and they're showing me some legality stuff and legal papers coming up.
That might be with my mother's house, but I don't think
Okay.
that's never going to get settled.
Yeah, it's going to get
But
settled
that's
a lot
okay.
quicker than you think. It's coming up within this year that it will.
If it does, it's okay. I'm glad I called. I was a little anxious about calling, but I'm glad. I
Oh,
called.
don't be.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine, Candace. Thank you so much for calling.
Any questions?
No, you answered
All right,
them.
good.
You answered
I'm
them for
glad.
me, and hopefully I can get to see you on the 10th. And Joanne sounds like she's going to be there too.
Yeah,
so.
she's going to be there.
Yeah, I want to get there too.
Good.
Thank you both so much.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for calling.
Enjoy your evening. Thank you.
You too.
Thank
you.
you.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. So let's recap with this with our remaining time. So on August 10th, you're having a psychic fair, correct?
From 10 to 3.
From
at
10 to 3. Walk-ins
964.
welcome. 964 Kenmore Avenue, near Kenmore and Colvin, right before you get to Sinatra's. It's on the
Right.
right-hand side of the street, in the first little strip plaza right next to Dr. Bob's.
Right.
Right, so that's August 10th from 10 to 3, walk-ins welcome. And
Correct.
you have classes, you have healing classes, you have a crystal class,
Correct.
you have, what else going on?
There's a mantra and breathing class that
Mantra
Reverend
and
Schiff Canwell does. I'm doing right now the Know Your Stones class.
Mm-hmm.
We also have at the beginning of the month, the first Thursday is a fifth dimension class with a meditation. And then on the third Thursday of the month is a healing night, which is going on now. And they're doing healing. And they do all sorts of healing where we have people just come in and they lay on a table and healing takes place. All right. And that's
I
done
should go
by
to that.
Reverend Lowell Shepherd. And he did it in the past as well. We're also looking to expand the classes. Okay, I have somebody doing another healing class and meditation, a private individual that booked it for the 29th of this month.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so anyone who has classes, feel free to contact me at either the websites that we said earlier, sagecenterpromotions.com or reverendjohnshred.com, or call me at 716-572-4989.
572-4989.
Yeah, and I will be very glad to entertain new classes because I'm already experienced. So I don't know what other people want, you know?
Well, you have said that your mission is that you want to help people wherever they are in their spiritual journey and
Correct.
see them through their spiritual journey. I remember when I was involved in the psychic fair, there was a gentleman there, Ryan,
Yes.
that was giving readings, and he said that he knew you 10 years ago. So you've
Yes.
seen him come through these 10 years.
Yes.
You know,
him and
so-
I took a class together.
Really?
That's how I met him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then at one point I have an office in my basement, and I had a whole group there, and we would share different. Oh, that's another thing coming up on the 27th. We're going to have a spiritual share, a spiritual roundtable, and that's for anyone. It's donation. You know, there's no cost. The other ones have cost. That's donation, and what it's going to be is, you might say, oh, I had somebody walk through my house the other day. What can I do? Or how do I deal with it? And then another person.
Somebody else can answer.
Right.
Like a thought exchange, like they have
Exactly.
out in Lilydale.
Exactly.
Okay. Probably not so strictly structured as the thought exchange in Lilydale.
Right. It's not going to be very structured, you know. Just
It's-
like we're talking now.
Yeah,
you know?
it's going to be a discussion.
Yes.
Okay.
Because so many people don't understand things that happen. You know, a lot of us were raised in various religions that told us it was wrong. Fortunately, I was not.
Or told us we were spooky. I had a
Yes.
senior pastor. I told him about a premonition that came true while I was at work. I had a premonition that somebody was going to show up at my work, and I didn't know it was a premonition. I knew it was a vision. I didn't know,
Right.
and I didn't know how that vision was going to play out. And a year and a half later, it played out as a premonition because I opened up the door to my office. This is when I was a counselor, and this person was standing there, and I hadn't seen that person in 10, 15 years.
Wow.
And I told the pastor of my church, and he went, Virginia, you're spooky.
And, you know.
But I had premonitions. When I was younger. My first recorded premonition was with a piece of art.
Oh, wow.
With the side of my face, which is really, we don't have enough time to go into that, but it was really, really involved. So, you know, so I've had premonitions across my lifespan. So it's really kind of interesting how that is. Now, is there anybody else that I'm missing on here? What are they saying, John? Thank you for the psychic
Thank you.
reading.
Yep, they're saying thank you, and they too had similar experiences.
That's
And the
from
fact-
Nate.
Let me share a really quick story. I worked with a lady many years ago who was a quote unquote born again Christian, and she knew what I did. And I called her mom. She called me son, and she goes, "Son, why do you do that?" I go, "Let me tell you something."
Spiritual.
I says, "My Bible has always taught me to be like Jesus." She goes, "Yes."
That's
and
right.
I go, "Didn't Jesus speak to the dead?" No, I'm sorry. I go, "Didn't he speak to spirits? He spoke to his Father." I says, "Didn't Jesus heal the sick?" She goes,
Yes.
"Yes." I go, "And Jesus," I said, "the only thing I do differently," I says, "I speak to spirits, I heal the sick." I says, "I don't raise the dead." You know? She never said another word to me about my gifts.
Well, and when you look at Catholicism, your priests, as they get to the certain ranks, have to wear certain rings. Like,
Right.
like certain priests have to wear, because of their rank, they wear amethyst.
Yes.
Or the cardinals wear, I think they wear rubies.
I
whatever.
believe so.
So they believe in the crystals. And
Yes.
the saints, the Catholic people
Thank
pray
you.
to dead people all the time.
Thank you.
All the time.
So what we do is nothing.
Right. But I believe that what I do has a spiritual base,
Yes.
And that's just who I am, that's just who I am.
Because we're part spirit.
right,
Besides the physical body, we're spirit.
right,
And so is everybody else, and that's why we're all connected.
right.
And any person and or religion that says you're wrong for doing it, no, because they all do it.
This is the truth. This is truth, John. But I want to thank everybody that called in tonight. We had some very interesting callers, did
Yes,
we
we
not?
did.
had some very
It went
interesting
by
callers
quick.
and some interesting information being shared here. And thank you so much for coming on my
Thank
show.
you for having me.
And Richard here was being so gracious with the phone and everything. It really ended up working well. And I'm sorry to everyone that I advertised the wrong phone number. Lessons learned. Hey, in the world of Virginia McIntyre. So I won't advertise the phone number ahead of time again. I'll just say call in, and you can get the number. But thank you, John. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. So let's reiterate that on August 10th, you're going to have your psychic fair. You have
Correct.
things going on at the center all month long.
Correct.
You're planning a large psychic fair, hopefully sometime in the fall, maybe.
Correct.
In the fall, maybe. And you're multi-skilled.
Yes.
You're multi-skilled.
Jack
yeah.
of all trades, master of none.
All right. So I guess we're just going to fade to black now. So thank you so much for being with
Thank
us,
you.
and we're going to close down a minute or so early. But thank you so much. That's John Shred, owner of Sage Center Promotions, and give your phone number again, John.
716-572-4989.
All right. Thank you so much, and thank you. Peace out. I love you.